Who would like to start with their calendars?
I can.
All right. Supervisor Owen.
Okay. So last week, at the end of the week, I went to the California State Rodeo Finals for junior high, and I'd like to announce that we do have a state champion goat tire from Jessica's district. She lives on Cobb. And I forgot, it's Lexi, but I didn't look up her last name, so I'm so sorry. And she actually rides with us. My daughter's her coach. We also have, coming up this week, I have Middletown Luncheon Club tomorrow where I am going to be speaking, and that'll be at noon. And then I've got to rush up to the Blue Ribbon Committee meeting from 1 to 4 in Clear Lake. On Thursday, I have the judges' breakfast at 7. After that, I'm meeting with our Lake County Visitor Center chairman, which is Amanda Martin. Following that, I have a meeting at Middletown High School with Jeff Crane and Gina Weiss, which is the Middletown and Canocti Career Advisor, and a rodeo meeting, Middletown Rodeo meeting at 6 p.m. at my place. On Gina Weiss, yeah. Weiss, I'm so sorry. Weiss, correction. Yeah, she won't let that go. Okay, thank you. On Friday, I have a graduation for my grandson at 10 a.m. We have a team roping jackpot at my place at Owen Ranch at 6 p.m. It's going to be a long Memorial Day weekend, and I'd like to recognize our veterans with that. So Friday night at Owen Ranch, we have a jackpot. Saturday evening, we have a 40 open barrel race along with a Vegas toughest that starts at 6 p.m. Time only is at 4. We have the Lower Lake Days Parade on Sunday and an all-day rodeo at Owen Ranch along with the Vegas toughest on Sunday starting in the morning. Veterans Day Memorial Service at the cemetery in Middletown. I'll be there speaking on Monday morning and finish up our rodeo for the weekend. And then I'll be back here at our special meeting on Tuesday.
That special meeting is next week?
No, July.
Oh, that's in July.
Oh, July. I am so sorry. I put that down
I
wrong.
was worried
Thank
for
you.
a second. I was like, wait, we didn't.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a special meeting for this week. I am so
Oh, no,
sorry.
You're good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Go ahead, Vice Chair.
Last week, I attended the Red Cross Lakeport office
Me too.
grand opening. Supervisor Owen was there as well. I was out Scotts Creek Road investigating a complaint out there and actually took Luca Moretti with me out there because some of that road area is adjacent to the federal BLM land. Also attended Hold Fire Safe Firearms Storage presentation and meeting over at Frick Hall. It's being organized by our behavioral health in conjunction with the Veteran Affairs. Attended BVAC meeting with Supervisor Pyska last week. Also Emergency Medical Care Committee and Interfacility Transport meetings. I attended the Tribal Advisory to the Museum Board meeting. They were talking about updates on the Pomo family statue that's expected to be installed early next year. I had a meeting with Public Services up on Mount Canocti, looking at some of the infrastructure and the parklands up there. I had a tour of Ester Formula, which is a manufacturing facility that makes these supplements and vitamins out here near the airport, the old Workrite building. They're in operation for that, and they have an application in for another major use permit for expansion. I attended a Coal Creek Advisory meeting with Supervisor Pyska. Had a lunch event with the Lakeport Mayor and the Lakeport Police. I attended the Andy Weiss Memorial for a little bit down at Soparis last Friday, and then went to the First Responder Memorial at Museum Park. On Saturday, attended the class of 26 of Kelseyville High breakfast benefit. Went to a fundraiser for dog animal nonprofit that was raising funding for spay and neuter programs. Attended the small farms tours in Big Valley, and then the Historical Society annual picnic. Attended Lake County Children's Council meeting, covered for Supervisor Sabatier last week. I met with the Registrar of Voters, trying to learn more about that operation. And thank you, Vice Chair, for the invite. I attended the Bloody Island remembrance or forgiveness ceremony.
Sunrise forgiveness ceremony.
Sunrise
You got it right.
forgiveness ceremony. And that's the first time I had been. That was, it was emotional, impressive ceremony, so thank you. Had Scotts Valley Community Advisory meeting last night. I'm going to attend the Lakeport City Council tonight. I went to the last Animal Control Advisory Committee meeting. I felt it was important that, a supervisor attend that once in a while at least, and they haven't met for over a year, and they're just getting reorganized, and I've worked with County Council to get them some Brown Act training next month, so I would encourage another supervisor maybe once in a while to check that out. I think that would be helpful. Tomorrow, I'll be at the LAFCO meeting and then the Blue Ribbon Committee meeting down in Clear Lake. I plan to try to stop into the Planning Commission meeting. There's a project in the city that they're hearing for some lake use items tomorrow. And then also have a solid waste task force meeting Thursday. I guess Planning Commission's Thursday too. And then I plan to stop by the Klaus Park last meeting over in Chair Crandall's district on Thursday. And I was also asked to be guest speaker at the Clear Lake Oaks Glen Haven Business meeting that same evening on Thursday down in District 3. And then just numerous Memorial Day events that I'll be attending over the coming weekend. Thank you.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Tomorrow I have LAFCO. I have an interview for final disaster task force report, and that's the NACO task force that I'm on, and we are meeting with several of the Lake County partners to give an update on the work that we've been doing here. RRA Biomass Subcommittee meeting, and Thursday, Best Fits Grants meeting. Thursday, IBHS meeting with the Michael Newman, who I testified with, and CAL FIRE. And then Middletown Rancheria UC Extension MOU signing, which is really exciting. So I'll be out at the Rancheria all afternoon Friday. And then I have a pancake breakfast Sunday. I guess I'll stop there.
Supervisor Sabatier?
Yeah, starting with LAFCO, tomorrow, I believe, that was probably canceled. A meeting with faith leaders from the city of Clear Lake to discuss some potential safe parking possibilities for our unsheltered folks, seeing if we can use some of that $1.5 million to create that, so that we're looking all around the lake to provide that rather than just one location. I'm going to pop in at the Blue Ribbon Committee for the Green Water Services presentation, see how that goes. Starting Thursday at Judge's Breakfast, Lake County Solid Waste Task Force. I am going to have to cut out early. I'm having a conversation with Behavioral Health and RCS to again see if there is the possibility of expanding services at the North Lakeport Shelter, which might include safe parking. And then I will make sure to be at Austin Park at 12 o'clock for the Build graduation. And I'll stop there as well.
All right. So last week, I'm not sure if anyone's familiar, but there was a wildfire in the District 3 area right behind Robinson Rancheria. It was about 4 acres or so. And so it was right in the middle of the TIPO meeting, and it took place. I thought it was prescribed. Terry had said, she texted me and said, did you see, watch duty? And I was like, yeah, I think it's prescribed, but it wasn't. So anyhow, it got put out really quickly. I think one of the most interesting things that I seen was when I went up with Chief Duncan, I seen some of the dry grass that it singed through, but then there was still green, wet grass that it still traveled through. So just know that just because we recently had rains doesn't mean it won't go through that. And I know a lot of people know that. I'm just saying that also for other folks, because I know these get started by people that are grinding or lawn mowing. A spark can catch something that's dry and then just catch that fuel and move forward. So really key to be cognizant of fire season, and make sure you have everything around you. Make sure you have water sources. Make sure you wet the grass if you're going to do something like that. Make sure you know if it's even allowed to be done at the specific time. So I wanted to highlight that. Then I want to say I went to the Mendocino College Native American Motivational Day last Friday and spoke to some kids about higher education. And then following that, went to the forgiveness sunrise ceremony. It usually starts on Friday. There's like a dinner in the evening, and so that went over there to volunteer and help. I wanted to get to the first responders, but I had too much going. We ended up moving and doing I had to go get some emergency water that wasn't in place there. So I was like, okay, because they do a fire, and so again, like I said, we got to have water buffalo there or something like that. So got that all set up. It was a good event. I really enjoyed having the capability on Friday evening to speak to some folks who there was a traditional dance simultaneously, and as we were setting up, there were some folks that were there that said, I don't even really know what happened. So I was able to give like at least 25 people sitting in the area where the dinner was going to happen within the next hour and a half, and kind of just give like a quick history version of what took place, and then answer questions about it. And a lot of them had no clue, even though they live in Lake County. So it was really helpful to just give that insight and talk about some things, and then just even the history and the tribe in general. And so it was really, and I think that's the most important thing about events like this is giving, education to folks from on the lands of the area, giving the actual names of the lands that we use and things like that. So that I really felt good about that. The morning there was quite a bit of people there. Supervisor Sabatier and Vice Chair Rasmussen were there, and it was really cool. It was really good. It was kind of windy, so that was the other thing. That's why the water buffalo was there for the fire and whatnot, and wanted to make sure because they walk at like 4 o'clock, 4:30 over from the dance grounds to where the old landmark is, right next to where the island would be. And so I immediately stayed back and put out the coals because I was like, it was really windy, as you both know. So yeah, it went well. They had a breakfast right following that over at the conference centers, and that was that. But then I trucked right over to the Catfish Derby and was hanging out there with some folks. That was a really fun event to be at, seeing the kids pick up their fish, and then seeing some folks that didn't want to touch the fish. And I'm like, that little kid picked that fish up. He didn't have no problem with it, I seen Luke there, Sheriff, and D.A. Cronus. And so, yeah, it was a really, really fun event to attend. I had some oysters, hung out, spoke with people, things like that. So was dog tired after that, so I went home. But so this next week we have, I have North Shore Business, I think, is on Wednesday. I'll double check that. Usually it's the third Wednesday. Then I have the West Region Town Hall in the evening. Thursday is Clear Lake Oaks Glen Haven Business Association. I'm glad that you'll be there to speak. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I was with them. That's who held the actual Catfish Derby. So yeah, and I told them I'd be there with you. And It was really cool also, just a side note, just seeing all the people, despite the water being very windy and all the water being choppy, there was people out there, on the side of the highway, on the side of the shorelines, fishing and whatnot. That was really cool to see. But so after Klogba, I think Friday, what do I got? I think we're there. Let me see. I got there's the MOU signing. There's graduations too, though. So I'll be heading over to some graduations. And then also, I know they have one at Mendocino College Friday as well. We don't meet next week, so I know there might be something Tuesday, but I'll double check. But I know for sure we have on the 28th at Soper Reese, we have the Potter Valley Project Town Hall. Thanks Chamber of Commerce for putting that on. So we'll be having that. And there's a dump day Saturday, May 31st at the Moose Lodge in Clear Lake Oaks. So if you're listening, please, by all means, anyone in Clear Lake Oaks, please bring your garbage to the Moose Lodge so they can get that loaded up and we can get more garbage out of the hills of Clear Lake Oaks and out of the area. I know there's some spots, Spring Valley, Double Eagle. And also, when you take that turn, I don't know the road. There's a little road. I got to memorize it. But people like to dump there when you go over towards Clear Lake. You might know it. I don't remember. But it's on your side, by the way.
Junction Road?
Yeah. I just like to point out it's on your side. It's a standing joke when I ride with people. They're like, hey, you got I was like, that's Bruno's side. Off Highway 20. So I'll leave it at that. And it looks like we're at 10:30. Is there